Jompet Kuswidananto. For about 8 years, I have been working with the theme of Indonesian cultural transition. In After Voices, I think I like to say too many things, but the first departure was my interest on looking at how Indonesian performative democracy has been going on and how it changed the social landscape of Indonesia.
I became conscious of one of the much older generations of Indonesian contemporary art, Agus Suwage, and finally Jompet entered into the picture. In a number of different ways, there was a work shown at the National Gallery of Victoria and acquired by them, but I had seen his work in Indonesia. I'd seen his work at various biennales and triennales. All the work I'd seen was kinetic, was moving, accompanied by music. There was an enormous energy in the work.
After Voices is inspired by the political change in Indonesia since 1998 when Indonesia got democracy, and I think it is a very important point that Indonesia changed forever.
Post the Second World War, when various parts of Asia and Africa were being decolonized, Indonesia broke away from the Dutch. Two military dictators ruled Indonesia. Sukarno, who ruled for 2 decades, he was replaced by another dictator, Suharto. Suharto came to power in '65 through a brutal suite of purges. Any left-leaning Indonesian, any Indonesian deemed to be communist, and any Indonesian with Chinese background was considered suspect, and it's estimated that 500,000 people were hauled away in the middle of the night, never to be seen again.
When we started to talk about the project in Sherman, in After Voices, Jompet has been working with the notion of history for quite a long time. So when the Phantasmagoria started, also in a way we talk about the history of colonialism or the history of modernism. He's always interested to the idea like how we discuss critically about history.
I put lots of materials in the installations. It is a collection of artifacts or texts, voices, videos, and objects as well that give me a clues about how this performative democracy has been carried on.
The voices that come out of the megaphones, there are voices shouting louder and louder about what they want and how they feel the political landscape should look and what they think the cultural life should be, and one voice is drowning out another. And in the midst of all of this, you've got drums playing that come and go, and you've got sculptural hands clapping in white for almost like a Javanese dance. And then underpinning all of this underneath, you have masses and masses and masses of shoes, old shoes, that were brought over from Indonesia.
The shoes, I put a big number of shoes. It's feeling of crowds, feeling of mass mobilization. Indonesia is very motorcycle country, and motorcycle is a symbol of independency of every Indonesian.
It's important also to see the different practices that influence Jompet aesthetic. It's coming from the sounds, music, film, theater, performance, dance. So it's all the blend of what is happening in the art world of Indonesian contemporary art after 1998.
Indonesia is a relatively new democracy. And obviously the voices will continue for some time to come.